Vanessa. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another episode of my self-love series through this entire month of February. Each of these episodes I am focusing on giving self-love to myself as well as love to others that may need it most. If you want a full background detail on it, I suggest you go back to the first episode and watch them all the way through where I explain it a lot better. But I just wanted to get right down to today's topic. So I'm not gonna lie, this month has not been the best for me. I have had a lot of things mentally and just like things that went wrong, and just the combination of the two just has not been the greatest. So that's why I'm sitting here with a nice cozy pillow to comfort me. Anywho, so today I wanted to focus on finding some mental health tips and tricks, I guess you can say, to find some new ways to give myself some mental health and improve my mental health, because this time isn't always the best. It's kind of in between different things. Like a lot of my family's birthdays are in January, so there's a lot of celebration there, and then it's just kind of went to February, which I'm not really a big fan of Valentine's Day to begin with, and then it finally gets to March, which is my birthday. So it's exciting that we're coming to the end, which is crazy that we're coming to the end of February already and the end of this series. But also it's just kind of like a slump for me. And I think it's also a reminder that this month I haven't seen my family in over a year. So that is hard for me. And I know it's slightly getting safer out to travel, but it's just not a good place for me to travel personally. So I am waiting until I can go home, I can drive home, I can make a whole thing of it to be home for a while, and that won't be until the spring. So that's kind of where we're at right now. So it's just kind of addressing those feelings, addressing how I feel, and just trying to find some ways to help improve my mental health, basically, is what I'm saying. So I decided to dive in and do some research, because for the past couple of weeks I have been pretty down and I couldn't really pinpoint why, and I still really can't pinpoint why, but I think it was just a lot of like hopelessness feeling, that things weren't working out, things I decided to do. I had car issues. If you saw one of my posts, I couldn't have my car for a week. That was in the shop. There was just a lot of things happening. So I decided to take this time to use this video to explore some ways and recommendations on how I can improve my mental health, and especially if I find myself in these times, like what can be things that I can do that can help me. So in my research, I found a website that has 31 tips to boost your mental health. Now, I'm gonna digress. Like, take these at your own preference, at your own will. I just chose a few to try out and just kind of intentionally and mindfully kind of put my mental health first when doing these things, and just kind of go through it and kind of let it be and see what happens. So this website is the Mental Health America. So I will have the link that I referenced below, and I'm just gonna read off what they suggest, and I'm gonna tell you the few of them that I picked and how I felt about it. So the first one is track gratitude and achievement with a journal. Start your day off with a cup of coffee. Set up a getaway, which I mean is kind of hard with COVID. Work on your strengths. Keep it cool for a good night's sleep. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. Just figuring out what you want to do and take a step in the right direction. Experiment with a new recipe, write a poem, paint, try to do a Pinterest project, etc. Show some love to someone in your life. Boost brain power by treating yourself with a couple of pieces of dark chocolate every few days. There is no greater agony than bearing your untold story inside you. So share your personal experience of mental illness and or recovery, and share it on Twitter and Instagram and connect with other people. Sometimes we don't need to add new activities to get more pleasure. Soak up the ones that you already have. Take a trip down memory lane and do some coloring. Take time to laugh. Go off the grid. Get yourself off of social media. Dance around while you do your housework. Go ahead and yawn. Relax in a warm bath once a week. If something's been bothering you, let it all out. Let it all out on paper. Spend time with a furry friend. Stay in the present and try to think in the present and not think in the future or the past. Be a tourist in your own town. Try prepping your lunches or picking out your clothes for the week. Work some omega-3 fatty acids into your diet. Practice forgiveness. Find the silver lining in something that may have not happened, maybe something recently that may have not happened as well as you think, and find the silver lining for it. Make sure to smile if you feel stressed. Send a thank you note. Do something with family and friends. Take 30 minutes to go for a walk in nature. Do your best to enjoy 15 minutes of sunshine, and try something out of your comfort zone. So right off the bat, I know that I kind of do a couple of these things already. I have been trying to plan out my outfits. Even though I work from home, I've been trying to plan out my outfits during the week so then I can have, just give myself a little bit of boost to kind of dress up for work. And I tend to feel a lot better when I do that instead of just wearing sweats and sweatshirts and sweatpants all the time. But, so that's helped for one. Secondly, I also meal prep my lunches, and that's just something that helps me during the week because I only have a 30-minute lunch break. It gives me enough time to eat, just sit down, relax, and kind of decompress for half of the day before then I hop back on for the rest of my day. And also another thing I do is I do start off pretty much every day with a cup of coffee. I just find that to be enjoyable. I love coffee. I love just having a warm cup of beverage. I also like tea. I usually have tea in the afternoon, like after my lunch. I kind of sip on tea as I go throughout the rest of my shift, and that helps too. But per what they said, coffee consumption is linked to lower rates of depression. If you can't drink coffee because of the caffeine, try another good for you drink like green tea. So that's very interesting to me. And for years I've had coffee, but I tried to drink like a nice cup of coffee in the morning. I try to give myself that time to just sit and enjoy it instead of just having to slam it, because I find when I slam it, I feel like jittery and weird for the rest of the day. But if I have time to actually sit and kind of enjoy it and slowly drink it, I feel like really nice. And I don't know how you guys feel, but that's definitely something that I feel. Another thing I like to do in the apartment is keep it cool at night. I do tend to sleep better that way, and according to this, the optimal temperature for sleep is between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. And we typically keep it around that, like 67, around there anyway. And I just feel like I sleep better anyway. Apparently it's proven that it works that way. So I do that already. So just kind of keeping a mental, mindful thought of when I'm setting the temperature at night to try to keep it around that temperature so then I can sleep well at night. And sleeping well definitely leads to better mental health. And I have found that when I sleep better at night, I do have a better day. Something I did try is I actually have had these two canvases I will show here that I painted a while ago, and I had like a different thought for them, but I have a space above my bed that I was like, you know what, let's try some abstract art. So I just painted them over and just kind of went with it, and it was honestly so nice. I did it this morning actually. I was drinking coffee, watching YouTube videos, and it kind of brought me back to when I used to do kind of arts and crafts and DIYs all the time on weekends. Like I was always constantly doing a DIY when I was living with my family, and that was something that I have kind of missed. I mean, I don't have all of my DIY supplies with me. I have most of them, And that's my hope when I go home, is to drive and get all that stuff and bring it here, because now I have a bigger apartment that I can fit things in. So that's definitely the plan. So another reason why I want to drive, and it's a whole thing. So it was kind of nice to get back to that and get back to releasing some of that creativity, even though it wasn't like super, like it had to be realistic. It was just kind of letting it out, and I'm really happy with them and really happy with how they turned out. I just think that was like another thing I needed. Just needed some DIYs in my life. I haven't really had the time to do that, and that's something that I really like doing. So just kind of bringing myself back to that. So another thing, since I live in Orlando and I have an annual pass, I have been trying to spend time at Disney, and the other day I ended up having an earlier shift, so then I was able to go to Disney after work, which honestly I've really missed. My last job when I first moved here, I was able to go to Disney after work every day, and that was a really nice decompressor for myself, and I realized how much I missed that. And just going to Epcot and just walking around, trying a few snacks, and just like enjoying being there. I know it can be a little overwhelming and it can be a little crowded, but really just having the mentality of patience when you go in there just makes it so much more enjoyable. And I really just enjoyed, and especially just getting to ride one of my favorite rides at Epcot, which is Journey into Imagination exclusively for Figment. I know that ride has a history that has a greater ride before it, but I love seeing Figment, and I love being in one of the front cars. So when you go down right before you go into his house, he like waves to you, and I just like feel so happy. I know it's an animatronic, but I don't care. I love Figment. So just enjoying those little things of things that I already do, and going in with the mindset of just like enjoying it, enjoying life, enjoying that moment. And that was honestly something I really needed, especially in the middle of the day, was something I really needed. And or middle of the week, not middle of the day, middle of the week, that was something I really needed, and I really enjoyed it. So I highly recommend, if there's something that you do often or you haven't done in a while, just go and do it, because it can be really rewarding and really nice. Lately I've been trying to watch a lot of videos that make me happy and make me smile. I found a couple creators that I've been watching recently on YouTube, and I love their jokes. I love how they bring out their content. I'll link them down below. I just like fell into a thrifting and DIY videos, so I just stumbled upon them due to the algorithm, and I love their content. I love their content so much. So I'll link them down below. And I've also been watching my own favorite creators that I've watched for years, and so that helps as well, just kind of give me a break, a mental break. Especially during my lunches, I try to watch funny content, so then it kind of takes my mind off of the heavy stuff that I do for my job. I also do try to take a bath at least once a week. I am very much a bath person. I have bath bombs, as you've seen in a previous video. I love Basin, and their bath bombs are amazing, so I do use them a lot, and I have a lot of them to use. So I try to have a bath, especially a way to decompress after a long day. It just feels so nice and relaxing to me, and it just kind of, all the heat and the steam just kind of opens up my pores and just makes me feel very refreshed, and it even just helps me sleep too, because I typically shower in the morning. It's a great way to just kind of unwind and decompress. Another thing that I typically do, as you've seen in my previous video about my fitness journey, I do go out I try to every morning to go for a walk. I know it's not necessarily in nature, but there is a lot of nature and palm trees around, and it's just aesthetically pleasing to look at where I am and where I walk. So it just gives me a lot of happiness, so I try to do that as well as being out in the sunshine. When I do that, I try my best to. Florida has been very unpredictable lately, so I can't be 100% certain when it's going to be light out or there's going to be the sun out, but I try my best. So those are the tips that I took from them to try to do or try to be more mindful. I really enjoyed trying to bring things back into my life that I haven't done in a while, like DIYs, like giving myself a little more time to do that. Going to Disney, which makes me really happy. I've been loving trying new things and finding new places in this in Orlando or in the greater Orlando area. I've been doing that for a while, and it does bring me a lot of happiness and joy to find new things and support small businesses that I may have not found otherwise. So that has been really fun as well. So I encourage you guys to look over these tips, look over these things, and see what may help you. It may help your own mental health. Doing these things and being more intentional with them definitely improved a lot for me, like especially painting this morning. Like that just like did a total 180 for me. And as weird as that sounds, it was very cathartic. It was very just kind of letting everything go. And it felt so nice. And I feel so refreshed. And I know I have still another day in the weekend, but it just felt so good. It felt so good to do these things. And sometimes you just gotta give yourself a little bit of time. Like find something that you really enjoyed or you still enjoy and do it. Give yourself like plenty of time to do it. And don't let yourself say, oh, I need to do this, that, and the other thing. I live on to-do lists. And today I kind of needed to throw that away because I feel like to-do lists are great to kind of keep my brain focused, but at the same time, it can give me a lot of stress. So that is like two things that I really needed to focus on and figure out like, okay, what's the most priority here? And having these mental health steps and tips definitely helped kind of improve everything for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you got a tip or something that you can try to help your mental health. I know we're still in a pandemic and it's still hard. So I hope one of these things can help you and help you during this time and give yourself a little self-love and self-care in the mental health world. If you don't already, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Vanessa Adventures so you can follow along with all of my adventures here. I'll be soon covering on why I changed my name, so stay tuned for that. And make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I post a new video, which for the rest of this month, so the rest of this week when we're released, it's going to be Tuesday, Thursday, and then we'll go back to only Thursday. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified so you don't miss a video. Make sure you give this video a like if you like it and let me know if any of these tips helped you and what you are going to try, or if you have your own tips and resources, please leave them down below because I'd love to share them with anyone else and everyone else that may need it during this time. So until next time, bye guys.